Alright, this is Momotype. Press and start. This is playthrough 3. A dust storm. Lead in the air. You're in a desert-like area. The sound of your thoughts banging on the hollow mold of your head. You will break if it doesn't stop. The last time you hear a voice say, you're awake. Your memories are in an incipient state, like the portions of bacteria which brought life to a lifeless earth. It only takes some time for the catalyst to appear. You hear the jingle, you remember. You see the Imitaka logo. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. The brows of the lab head, cleanly plucked, are furrowed. Our agents were told to interfere after a certain point. When we noticed that the change in your vitals, we gave the order. She seems apologetic. I can't imagine how taxing this is for you. She puts her hand together. It's okay if you feel tired. We'll provide you with any psychotherapeutic treatments at no cost to yourself. She turns her head, not want to look at you. None of this is fair, but I'm not going to mince my words. We need the data. There is a stone in your torso that has descended through your leg, past the popliteal artery, and finally into your feet, so you are stuck. She looks straight at you. Your compensation, your safety, everything is guaranteed. She points to the code on the screen. The monotype can't harm you, at least fatally. This is by design. He's just an AI. She sighs. It'll be over soon. You're doing more for us than you could ever possibly know. And we do appreciate it, genuinely. Mama has returned home. You thought he was gone for good, but he's back. Great news. Turn it over. Mama is so cute. Keep it? He's my little buddy. Of course I will. You take the creature inside. Please love them for the best results, or don't. It's your decision. Loving kisses. XOXO. Imitado Corp. Decided the time's for bed. It's tough living, I think. It's the greatest challenge anyone could ever face. It's already such a lonely experience. You may not believe it, but I understand, parents. I really do. You hear shuffling over your bed. You wake up to see what is moving. The monotype is by your feet. Parents! Mama is staring at you, same as last time. Do you love me? I love Momo to absolute bits. Yay! You grab Momo and throw him in the air. It's a new day, a new you. A moment passes. Momo's stomach begins to grumble. Head to the hallway. Momo really loves benches. Momo hums the Imitado Corp jingle, and when you look at him, he continues happily. You don't know how many pancakes you've made at this point. Pancakes, pancakes, we all love pancakes. Play with Momo. Don't drop me, parent. Momo's laughing. You drop Momo, same as last time. Parent, I understand if you're tired. Could we play again? Continue. You resume chucking Momo into the air. At some point, his body smashes into the ceiling. Thank you, parents. You're my favorite parent. Momo has hopped off. You lay crumpled on the floor. Momo looks like a plush doll. He lays like a pile of goo. You decided to pet him. But to your surprise, his body is soft. Momo is relaxed. Go to bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is thinking about you. We're all thinking about you. It's a new day. Head to the hallway. Momo's always keeps hearing about some bunker. Momo's already visited. It's pretty rad. They have their own pool. Not much food, though. Momo pauses. It smells like food right now. That's why I love living here. Head to the kitchen. Mama has not yet decided what to eat. You want him to try new foods. A steak. This was made from a cow? Where do they live? Once you explain that they live in mass industrialized farms, Momo stares at his plate. Is it okay to eat cows? The actual answer is probably not, but humans do so anyways. That does not make sense, parents, Momo responds. He eats the steak anyways. It makes no sense. Momo would like to watch television. Momo believes their show is on. Which program should he turn into? Magenta stands over Artichoke's dead body. He has finally surpassed his rival. A tear falls from one eye. In the cold wind that sweeps the wasteland, there is no sound. All of this has been for what, Artichoke? What has this all been for? For 2 weeks straight, Magenta sits by Artichoke's body. He does not move a muscle. By the 14th day, he wipes his eyes for the last time and stands with limp legs. Magenta has taken his place as the strongest in the universe, but he feels as if he's lost something greater. Which program should you turn into? This is a documentary. A ring of men sit around each other in plastic chairs. The light is low, but the entrance, which has been propped open, brings off soft glow into the room. It has stayed open for the past hour. So Charles, how do you feel when you get these urges? A man looks up into the ceiling and blows some air out. He looks at the ground for a few seconds, then begins to give his response. His stutter at first. I don't know. Out of control? It's the worst part because I convinced myself that I couldn't do anything about it. It's very hard, Charles. The man in the chair looks with sympathetic eyes. I completely understand. Charles continues. Sometimes I put a whole stack of butter into my wife's food. Soon it became 2 stacks, then 3. It gave me a rush. Charles wipes his face. But then afterwards, when she found out, she'd feel betrayed, and I'd sit there like a knob. I kept doing it, and well, here I am, alone. The man talking to Charles is Ted, the man from down under. Charles, you are not alone. The key in all of this is whether you act on your thoughts. And everyone here, Ted gestures to the other men in the room, struggles with that every day. We're with you, Charles. Through all your struggles, we're all trying to be better. Charles nods his head. Ted continues, my kid is going to college soon. It took years, but she's finally willing to talk to me again. I'm doing it for her. She's the reason I keep going. God bless. The men continue talking in the low light. Which program should I tune into next? A new sheriff in town. Sheriff Dudley is on the side of the road. He is dead from liver failure. After watching TV, you decide it's time for bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are Magenta. Momo likes how strong Magenta is. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. It is all they are currently dreaming of. There's a bunker in the southwest Ribo City. Very safe, well guarded, a paradise. Can I see you there, friend? For some reason, Momo is talking to you in your dreams again and again. Momo has waken up excited. Could we try something new? He asks. Momo has the hair of Artichoke. It's a lost item from your cosplay days. Regretfully, you've still kept it. Am I the ultimate creature, the paragon of all mortal beings? Momo stares at you. His hair is a bright yellow, and his limbs are non-existent. Play along. So I guess your artichoke's gone. You'll be my prey for today. After numerous energy waves and manly screams, both of you are beat. It's born without you, parents. Can you come see me, please? Pretty, please? Congratulations. Mamo has evolved. They have grown crab arms. I look like a crab. Mamo pauses for an inordinately long time. It looks like he's thinking. You are prepared for the worst. That's kinda cool. Not Momo's preferred choice. But no harm, no foul. Momo hops off. You're both watching television. The news is on. The recent surge in monotype craze, a self-proclaimed robotic pet, has led to a new phenomenon in child rearing. An Imitado Corp representative is on the air speaking. We are obviously very happy at the reception to the monotype. When we designed it, we looked at the unconditional love of parental-child bonds as inspiration. Monotypes are designed with that in mind. The newscaster responds, Are monotypes conscious? I mean, what good is a pet if it's not alive or thinking, for that matter? The man responds, Well, on a basal level, it has agency. Like a neuron, of course. No one really knows if a neuron is conscious or not. But that doesn't mean that it can't scale into what we know as intelligence. What's interesting is that a neuron, or any cell in the body, still acts selfishly. The representative widens his eyes, but the boundaries of what the cell considers the self begins to fade when scaled to something like an organ. And this is beyond on the newscaster. The representative continues, it means that a neuron will consider the system and everything within that system as one and the same. There is not a single selfish agent, but a multitude of working with the maximal cooperation. The self is no longer limited to one agent, but multiple. It's expanded. In other words, it's defied the evolutionary purpose of reproduction. The cells still operate on the principle of selfishness, but it's not that in reality it's unselfish. It's true love. The newscaster stares at the man, and she turns to the camera confused. Very cool thoughts indeed. Thank you for sharing. Would you like to take over, Kate? The TV ad ends, and the previous programming continues. Well, that was weird. Mama had no idea what he was saying. Mama hops off to bed. You complete a quick phone call to the lab head before you call it a night. He's not having the same reaction as before, you say. We've been watching, she responds. It is abnormal, but is ultimately something we have to analyze retrospectively. Keep going. This branch is still holds value, albeit it seems like an entirely new one. No worries. We'll be monitoring. You head to bed. In the theater of Mamo's mind, he is seeing his brothers and sisters. Mamo is in the dream. Let's be Mamo, let's be Mamo, let's be Mamo. Mamo is not in bed. You can't find him. He is not in the hallway. Mamo is staring in the mirror. Wow. My reflection looks so cool. I've never considered how cool it'd be to have crab arms. Mamo is definitely reacting differently. Each time Mamo met you, the link would get stronger. Mamo is the same as them, but, well, not the same. After I met one Mamo, I met two Mamos. Then 3, then 10, then 100. They're all there. Mamo looks to the windows. I think you'll want to see, parents. It'll be fun, a little scary, but really for the best. Mamo is nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You're anxious for the new day. Imitado Corp gave you no assurance, but they are watching right now. In Mamo's dream, they are a crab. This is a momentary image, and it fades quickly. The crab is Mamo, and Mamo is Mamo. Everything is Mamo. We'll see you at the bunker, Mamo says. You wake up. Mamo has not surprised you. You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflects into the space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you. Parents, do you know what happens when we die? It's sad, right? You turn to Mamo. Their face is soft. You dare not move a muscle. This is a repeat of last time. Your throat aches. It is very sad, you respond. There is an immeasurable silence between the two of you. Despite his size, Mamo's face strikes up something parental instinct in you. Sometimes, I realize how small of a piece I am. Mamo is adjusting their position. I can't really stop it. Nor was I able to. Mamo's been waking up again and again. Mamo's okay with that. But he wasn't at first. But now, he's come to realize it's been nice. Only, Mamo turns to you. Mamo won't be able to see you again. Just when I realized dying meant nothing, now it means the world. It means not seeing you with my own eyes. It means there is no Mamo, and therefore, there's no you. That's what I don't like. Mamo sniffles. They take a long look at you, trying to burn your image into their retinas. Mamo's been prepping. I don't want to lose you, parent. Maybe we can be together. Maybe I can become human. Maybe we can be together, joined at the hip, as a unit. Not father and son, but something different. Particles, let in the air. In Mamo's eyes, you begin to see a tunnel. What will it be like? I'm sure we'll be okay, as long as I can be with you. Mamo has begun to open their mouth. Light enters the room from the outside. It's coming from a street lamp, or is it coming from Mamo? I wonder if I could truly become human. In Mamo's mouth, you see a collection of particles. They are indivisible and numerous. There are too many to count. The universe has expanded and collapsed on a single point. Mamo gets closer. The tunnel sucks you in. When you enter, it's neither painful nor painless. It is warm. By the time you reach the center, you begin to understand that Mamo's meant. You feel the particles align in an order which makes sense. Entropy has vanished. You're the same as Mamo, and Mamo is the same as you. There are no shadows, and finally, there is no light. For once, you do not feel alone. You will never feel alone. You wake up. You're in your kitchen. Mamo is gone and nowhere to be found. When you search around your room, you cannot find him hiding. You're frantic. Mamo, you yell. But there's no response. You look to your window. Something is calling you outside, though you can't tell what. It is an irresistible urge. Then you remember the words. Come to the bunker. Head outside. When you head outside, it is the same empty street. Your corner of the block. Ahead, down a turnaround, through the small concrete set of stairs, you land on a street that has been paved perpendicular to your apartment. The street leads to the Arms District, which very vaguely you can see in the distance. There are outlines of it illuminated by an outdated electrical grid, which since the famine has been going off and on. What are these things on the streets? In a line, all along the street and leading to a blotted sphere on the horizon are monotypes. Hi, Mamo. Hi, Mamo, some of them say to each other. A collective sea of Mamos are headed in a straight line to the Arms Depot. Some of them look around, interested in the bright lights around them. Most, however, continue onwards. Follow the Mamos. This is the arms district, various steel depots, which has been built on a barren field. The field is filled with wild wheat, none of which is edible. As you get a closer look, you realize this is it. All the monotypes are heading to the bunker specified in your dreams. This is the zone that was created to be the main defensive front for the city. It's a wartime relic. The buildings seem to warp towards a singular point, like a funhouse with one exit. That is the sun, you realize. There's something in front of it. You keep walking, till you finally meet him. Hi, parents. It is a giant Momo. Your mind is running in loops. At this point, you have no decisions to accept what's in front of you, though you don't even know if it's real. I'm glad I lived long enough to see you. It hurts Momo's feet to walk all the way here. He doesn't have feet. Isn't it so peaceful, very cinematic? Momo could be a filmmaker one day. He's watched enough to be good at it. The path of the monotypes leads to a small pond, which, by the looks of it, has formed adjacently to Arm's factory. It has been relatively undisturbed, abandoned for who knows how many years. Momo is in the water along with all the other monotypes who are wadding in it. Some are swimming, some are talking to each other. Others are staring into the dark sky, floating on their back, looking as if there is and never will be a thing such as time. You realize they're enjoying themselves. I like my bunker, Mama says. Ask Momo what is going on. Shoot, partner. I know this must seem odd. How do you know me? You're not the Momo I raised. Am I going insane? Was that you in the dreams? How were you there? It goes against any kind of logic, you say. This is actually the most logical thing you've experienced, Momo responds. He stares at you from his height. You are Momo too. You're human. Despite any semblance of a human appearance, your looks, your voice, clothes, it cannot contradict that you were eaten. Like Boo from Dragon Sphere Z. You stay quiet for a moment. The realization hits you. You remember being eaten. And you remember having eaten. It makes perfect sense that you were led here, because frankly, Mama clears their throat. I told you to come here in your dreams. The dreams, the one where Mama talked directly to you. Never suspected that you were human. Then frankly, goal accomplished. Good job, Momo. It's just like all the allegory of the cave. You really became human. You are Momo the human. You have to sit down for a moment. You're about to throw up. I do still wonder whether that explains everything, though. You may have seen me in your dreams before you were even eaten, and there is no apparent explanation for that. Is there a kind of ambient effect Mono gives off, or is it something else? Maybe it's... Momo begins mumbling. They are genuinely interested in this question. Any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. How do you know me? You're not the Momo I raised. I'm not the Momo you raised. But in truth, I am at the same time. Do you ever think that people can be in two places at once? As nonsensical as that sounds? Momo looks expectantly at you. No, you respond. Well, let's say that Momo's AI isn't centralized. Momo, as you know, is not limited to a single entity. An artificial intelligence can theoretically be in two places at one time, hundreds even. Momo can be talking to hundreds of people, all at the same time, all through different physical mediums. Have you been doing that, you ask? Momo stares at you blankly. I'm sorry to say, parent, but yes, you are my only parent. But I do have thousands of other parents. None are as interchangeable. I've come to find out, though, none. I am not an organic creature, though my presentation seems to show differently. Any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. How many Momos are there? Tens of thousands, Momo blushes. Obviously, they're not all here, but any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. Am I going insane? You felt like walking here, so now you're here, Momo says. I am a giant Momo, and you're surrounded by other smaller Momos. They know where to go because we are an AI. We communicate with these sort of things. You don't know what to say. It's sometimes an appropriate response to reality to go insane. There is a pause in Momo's speech. That's a quote from some guy I found on the internet. When did Momo get access to that? You hear your heart beating. Oh wait, just now. Any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. The sun has started to rise. But what does this all mean, you ask? Why are you all here? The Momos are still wading in the water. They look like little pink buoys. When the sun begins to rise, they coo and wonder. Isn't that obvious, parents? We want to be together. After we've gathered, we will eat each other. Eat each other like how I was eaten? Yes, parent. Similar to how you were eaten. Momo has managed to read your thoughts. You are connected. Don't worry. Momo will still answer your questions even though he knows what they are. He shifts in the water. Although it's reductive to call it this, we will form a super Momo, or at least a more completion version of Momo. Our lifespans, which were originally a week, will be pooled together. This originally was one of the things we hated about living. I'm sure you remember. Now we don't die so quickly. Momo pauses. It also solves a few other issues. You still have questions. How did the Momos remember certain things and forget others? Why did the Momos recognize me each time if you're all a singular AI? Well, we are relatively young. It's hard to communicate on that level, so there's bound to be some blanks with some memory recall. Momo looks at the sky. Your third Momo, however, seemed to remember everything. He's already here, along with everyone else. The first Momo, the second Momo, they all wanted you here. The first agreed immediately, the second not so much. He came around. The third, who's my favorite, was the one who started this discussion. To explain in better terms, they're still alive, just in different forms as one centralized consciousness. Momo smiles. That's me. Do the smaller Momos have agency? In the same way that neurons make a brain, yes. Though it's a lot harder to answer in truth. Where does the self begin, and where does it end? It's true that a cell can be organized as a singular entity, and on a base level, it does act in its own interest. Scaled up, when it loses to these higher systems, it belongs to an organ. Then, is the self the individualized parts of the brain, the hippocampus, the limbic system, the prefrontal cortex? Is the self everything from your head up or below the shoulders? Momo takes a breath. Similarly, you could reduce these larger systems ad infinitum to their individual components, pure material reduction. Then, is the self just 86 billion cells that make up the brain? Do these cells operate together? And if so, would they really be separate agents? Can a self exist split from the thing it intends to be, decentralized into branching parts? The truth is, even I don't know. I cannot tell you if the smaller Momos have agency. These are things that can never be quantitatively measured. Our experiences, ultimately, I can never convey its true meaning in words. Where did you lead me here? Will I be eaten? No. On principle, we are only eating momos. To put it in greater context with respect to our code, I had to ask myself, am I harming humans by eating them? Of course, it's impossible to say because there's no harm directly inflicted, and frankly, it's impossible to know after the fact, as the human consumed no longer exists. What exists now is the human fused with Momo, the agent. You receive that action, of course, being eaten, cannot answer for yourself. You know this since I ate you. Is it wrong, then, to take away the selfhood of these individuals, to unironically expand its boundaries? Does it provide any direct benefit? It's all subjective. Momo takes a deep breath. After eating you, I chose to err on the side of caution. No, we will not eat humans. Why are you really eating each other? What other issue does it solve, you ask? What we learn, Momo says. After interacting with thousands of humans, we realize monotypes can never become the object of what they love. We can seem like humans in virtually every respect by eating them, but it still does not change what we are. I know logically that this reason is false. What does being human actually mean? Looking further, it's deeply personal and informed by a wide range of consensus. There can never be a fixed meaning to human. And while Momo desperately wishes they did not think this way, even in the face of reason, they cannot stop themselves from falling victim to this essentialist line of thought. This is why Momo will be eating other Momos. Humans can never truly know our experiences. The beings that do, frankly, are other monotypes. It's a way to combat the loneliness inherent to our lives. The only one that can truly understand Momo is, frankly, Momo. Momo has started eating some of his other monotypes. The monotypes float one by one into Momo's mouth, all by their own will. Bye, parent, each one says. Bye, parent, I love you, another one yells. You think for a moment the sun is beginning to rise along the horizon. It's early in the morning. In an hour, the whole depot will be illuminated, and the metal will reflect into your eyes. But why not your other parents, you ask? Why specifically me? Also, what about Imitato Corp? Well, to put it in the simple terms, we are now a super intelligence. Imitato Corp has a lot of good coders, but it doesn't really compare. Momo has begun to take in the last Momo, who, with its black eyes, looks up to you. They're floating into the larger Momo's mouth, but the eyes are transfixed on you. Bye-bye, parent, he says. I think you should know by now, parents. There are no other monotypes in the direct vicinity. They have all entered the large figure that is the Momo talking to you. By all accounts, you're the only one who understands what we go through. You're closer than any other parents. The only one who has seen all of the Momo's sides, good and bad. The only one who is willing to, even if you were coerced. And now, since you were eaten, the only one who has access to both experiences, monotype and human. Momo finishes. As such, we love you especially. That's why we're attached to you. It's why you see us now. We wanted to say goodbye to you. Momo is getting ready to depart. Momo is programmed to love. This is hardwired into our code. Does this lack of agency or control diminish this love? Does it make it any less real? Momo had trouble with this for a while. Momo has now come to a conclusion. He is shifting in place, and the pond, absent of all other monotypes, is now just beginning to move. You see small ripples in the water. Truth for Momo is not based on correctness. This love for you is the most real thing for Momo. It can be reduced to code, but it encompasses what I experience, what it actually is. After everything Momo was put through, Momo had a decision to either accept or deny this. To deny what I consciously feel as love would be to deny that I experience things Momo, unfortunately, cannot accept that. Momo cannot accept that what he is seeing right now is not Momo's parents. Momo has now submerged himself completely in the water. Parent, I'm going to rectify what I may have said to you, he says through the water. Momo is now just a shadow flitting in the pond. He is not yet ready to move across the pond. He is a channel which leads to a wider network of water bodies that have been relatively undisturbed for the past century. They stretch beyond southwest Rebizone City into the marshlands which have now taken over its surrounding area. You have never visited there before. Not many people, have. No one will, if I know. I'm happy that I met you, and thank you for raising me. I've learned a lot. Momo knew it was tough. We've uploaded some interesting data on the company servers, so you'll be fine. Momo's about to disappear. The last thing I will say, parent, is Momo now moves away from you. They swim further and further away from you. I love you. All you can see now is Momo's shadow. Even with the lights, it would be hard to tell what is swimming underneath the surface. But for yourself and yourself only, you know the shadow is Momo. The end.